We're just excited about all the program success.
And we're ready to get started. Thanks, Zach. Go Cards.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler, currently joined by our head track and field coach, Patrick Stanton, for the Patrick Stanton Show. And Patrick, you guys got off a Capital Invitational, had a bunch of great performances there from a bunch of different individuals. Talk about the event overall and what was working.
Yeah, we had a fun 2025 opener. It was a small meet. I think there's only 2 or 3 other teams. It's a 200 flat track, which is a slower track than we normally compete on indoor. The point of the meet really for us was just to kind of bust off the rust coming off of winter break. The students just got back to Wheeling, 4 or 5 days before that. So they're always kind of coming off a break a little bit groggy, a little bit flat. So we wanted to make sure that we get them in competition just that first week to bust off the rust and get a little bit sharper for the bigger meets. So that was the purpose of that meet, and it served its purpose. We had some good performances. Worked on some really good racing cues and strategies. And like I said, just got our bodies a little bit sharper and ready to race.
And you mentioned with both sides this year, you're trying to rebuild the Cardinal culture and kind of start a new era. Talk about how they used break to kind of build off that opener and keep things going.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, winter break is probably the toughest one. It's only a 3-week break, and summer is much longer. But winter break, you got, Christmas, you got New Year's, you got traveling with family, you got snow in some cases. High school facilities maybe aren't open because it's not track season for them. So it can be tough to maintain things. A lot of people had to do kind of alternate workouts because they couldn't get in a weight room or they couldn't get on the track or whatever the case may be. But, we've got a good group who wants to be great. They want to work hard. And they don't want to take shortcuts. So they were consistent with whatever they had. So really, I don't think anyone came back out of shape. It's really just, like I said, just getting a little bit sharper.
And yet a pair of MEC Players of the Week this week. We'll start on the men's side with Josh Boehm, gets the gold in the 400-meter. Talk about him and kind of the leadership he's provided on the track.
Josh has been awesome. He's a big lead-by-example guy. He's getting more and more vocal. He was new last year. He transferred in from a JUCO, but he's getting much more vocal as a leader this year. But he's always done the right stuff. He works hard. He's got big goals, and he's a great athlete. I mean, he hit Provo last year in the 400. He's knocking on the door of our school record in the 400. So he works really hard. He sets the tone for us in that way. His race the other night, it was a good race. It was him and one other guy who were really kind of going for it up front. Tactically, he played it really well and just blew by the guy the last 150 meters, which is fun to watch. Like I said, it's a 200 flat track, so it's not a fast track. But still, his time converted down to, I think, like a 49 high. So solid opener coming off a break, and we expect good things from him this year.
And then on the women's side, you have Deja Riles. She gets the gold in the 200, second in the 60-meter with a big improvement between the prelims and the finals in that 60-meter. Talk about her and kind of what you saw from her. Yeah,
Deja's also a great athlete. Helps set the tone as far as work ethic. She never misses a practice, never misses anything, and she wants to be great as well. She just has this indoor season. She's a fifth year who's got that COVID winter basically. So we're taking a little bit of she's on a different plan than everybody else. Everyone else, we're looking a little bit more towards outdoor. She and Brea Klopper don't have outdoor. So we're just a little bit sharper with her and things like that. So she's on a little bit more of a accelerated plan. But she's been doing great so far. She's still working on some racing cues and things like that. But we got no doubt she's going to have a great year.
Currently joined by Wheeling University head track and field coach Patrick Stanton. And Patrick, you've also had some newer people who are coming in and making an immediate impact. We saw Drew Pierce on the track. We have Tristan Tuttle in the throws. Talk about some of these new people and their impact they've been making.
Yeah, we've got a really good group of young guys. Like you mentioned, Drew. Drew's been awesome. Like he walked in the door and just kind of gets the Cardinal culture. He works really hard, probably one of the hardest working guys on the team, and wants to support everybody, wants to be kind of that team guy. So we expect him to continue to get faster and faster. He's got the work ethic, and, now working in Coach Healy's training structure, he's going to get a lot faster year after year. So he's going to be a good leader for us down the line as well.
And looking to this week, you guys have the Al Campbell Invitational coming up at Akron, another D1 meet in terms of competition. Talk about this meet coming up and what you're expecting.
Yeah, we're excited. It's a much bigger meet than last week. You know, it's not huge. I think we're still looking at in the range of like 10 teams, something like that. But it'll be much more competition, much better competition, and 300 track. So it's going to be a little bit faster. We only had about, a fraction of the team compete last week. We're going to be much closer to a full squad this week. That's what we're anticipating. So it'll be much more of a coming out party. We want to see improvements from last week. You know, we busted off the rust, and now we're ready to kind of start building some momentum throughout the rest of indoor. But, still it's early. Our big goals are in late February and then again in late April. So, we want to be patient, but also we expect, big improvement from last week, and the team's fit. They're ready to do some good stuff.
And finally, heading into a D1 meet like we are this week, talk about how seeing that level of competition is going to kind of help you guys as you continue this growth.
Yeah, it's always great. That's the great part about track. More than probably any other sport that I'm aware of, division does not matter. We see D1s, we see D2s, we see D3s, we see an AIA, we see pros sometimes. Like, we see really everybody. And, if you look at the results from some of these meets, sometimes we get our teeth kicked in, but a lot of the times we've got people who can keep up with those D1 guys and push them and even win some events at these D1 meets. So it's a great confidence booster, and it's really cool to just kind of show our athletes that and show recruits that coming to Wheeling, you're not settling. You're not settling for D2. You're going to get high-level competition. You're going to get to go to meets like Raleigh Relays and things like that where we'll see really high-level competition, and the fastest people are going to get to the top.
Thanks, Patrick. Good luck this week. Can't wait to see you out there.
Thanks, Zach.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler.
We're just excited about all the program success.
And we're ready to get started. Thanks, Zach. Go Cards.